Are you sure you know what's really stopping you? Not the excuse you give others, not the story you tell yourself. I'm talking about the thing beneath it. The force that drags you into the dark every time you say, "I'll do it later." Because here's the uncomfortable truth. Procrastination isn't laziness, it's self-betrayal. A quiet, calculated form of psychological suicide. And the world doesn't want you to know that. Society prefers the comforting lie that you're overwhelmed, disorganized, uninspired, labels that soften the blow, domesticating your guilt so you can sleep at night. But what if I told you that every time you postpone your own life, you're not avoiding a task, you're avoiding yourself? What if I told you that procrastination is the closest you'll ever come to watching your potential die in real time? You feel it, don't you? That silent decay, that magnetic pull toward distraction, that brutal paradox where the more you care about something, the more you avoid it. This isn't accidental. It's not a flaw in your character. It's a psychological mechanism, one designed to keep you enslaved. And ignoring it comes with a cost most people only realize when it's far too late. Because procrastination doesn't steal hours, it steals years, it steals coherence, it steals the life you could have lived, and if you keep ignoring it, it will devour you slowly, like rust spreading through the metal of your identity. What you're about to hear is the kind of truth only a few people can handle. Carl Jung once hinted that the greatest battles you'll ever face are the ones fought in the shadows of your own mind. Alan Watts suggested that the self you avoid confronting is the very one that holds your freedom. Even Diogenes, madman, sage, rebel, mocked those who waited for the right moment to begin living. They all pointed to the same unsettling revelation. Your delay is not logistical, it's existential. Procrastination is a fracture in your identity, a war between who you are and the person you're terrified to become. Which is why what I'm about to show you isn't some cheap productivity hack or motivational cliche wrapped in spiritual fluff. You're going to learn what procrastination truly is, why your mind clings to it like a drug, and why breaking free demands something no habit tracking app or self-help guru has ever offered you: self-mastery. I want you to stay until the end, because the final revelation is the most unsettling of all, the one most people spend their entire lives avoiding. The revelation that will prove your procrastination isn't the enemy you thought it was. It's something far darker and far more familiar. If you think you're ready, let's step into the shadows. Here's the first brutal paradox, the one nobody admits, the one that's slowly tightening its grip around your life. You don't procrastinate because the task is hard. You procrastinate because the task is meaningful. The more a goal matters to you, the more terrifying it becomes. And the world has fed you the opposite story your entire life. If it mattered, you'd do it. If you really wanted it, you'd be motivated. A comforting lie designed to keep you domesticated. But the truth, the real, uncomfortable truth, you avoid what could expose you. Because the moment you begin, you must confront the possibility that you're not as capable, brilliant, or exceptional as the fantasy you've been hiding inside. Procrastination isn't avoidance of work. It's avoidance of identity collapse. That's why scrolling, overeating, replanning, and waiting for the perfect moment feels so magnetic. Those distractions don't protect you from failure. They protect you from transformation. Because deep down, you know, once you start, the person you are now must die so the person you're meant to become can appear. And the psyche resists that death with a violence you can't see, a violence that dresses itself as comfort, distraction, and delay. That's the contradiction. You think procrastination is the problem, but it's actually your shield, a shield made of invisible chains. Now we go deeper into the mechanism itself. Procrastination isn't random. It has anatomy. Jung would say it begins with the shadow, the buried part of yourself you refuse to face, the part that whispers, "You're not good enough, you're not ready, you'll ruin everything." And instead of confronting it, you hand it your entire life, one postponed decision at a time. Every delay is a negotiation with your own destruction, because procrastination behaves like a parasite, feeding slowly, silently, without pain. It steals your clarity first, then your confidence, then your coherence, that inner alignment that tells you who you are, until one day you wake up and you barely recognize yourself. That's why procrastination feels like mental fog. It dissolves your edges. That's why procrastination feels like guilt. It remembers what you're capable of, even when you pretend to forget. That's why procrastination feels like panic at 2 a.m. It's your buried potential screaming, begging you to stop betraying it. And the most devastating part, the decay is so slow you mistake it for your personality. You don't think, I'm delaying my calling. You think, I'm just not disciplined. I'm just not motivated. This is just how I am. No, this is who you are when you're living beneath yourself. This is what happens when you abandon your own becoming. Here's the most disturbing truth hidden beneath the psychology of procrastination. The moment you break it, you become dangerous. Not dangerous to others, dangerous to the systems that depend on your weakness, your distraction, your quiet compliance. The world doesn't fear a person who procrastinates. They're predictable, containable, harmless. But the person who finally acts, the one who breaks the trance, becomes unpredictable, coherent, sovereign, someone the world cannot manipulate. Alan Watts once said that awakening isn't about enlightenment. It's about refusing to play the games that once controlled you, and nothing controls you more effectively than delayed action. Because every time you postpone something, you reinforce the belief that you are powerless. But when you break the cycle, when you act even while afraid, you recover something you haven't felt in years, self-respect. And self-respect is magnetic. People feel it. They react to it. They reorganize around it. That's why the world fears the person who stops procrastinating. The person who starts walking with purpose no longer needs permission, no longer seeks validation, no longer depends on excuses. They become self-made, self-directed, a living threat to the comfort-addicted majority. And here's the irony: as soon as you start prioritizing the life you were meant to live, the world will call you obsessed, cold, arrogant, selfish, because they can't control someone who owns their time. This is the revelation most people aren't ready for. Procrastination isn't the enemy, it's the mirror. It shows you, precisely, painfully, where you are fragmented, where you lack self-trust, where your identity is still incoherent, where your wounds still speak louder than your potential. Most people look at procrastination and attack the behavior, but the behavior is not the beast. The behavior is the shadow of the beast. The real issue is internal division, the split between your higher self and the domesticated version you perform for the world. Your procrastination is pointing at the exact door you're terrified to open, the door that leads to your awakening. Because everything you avoid is connected to your deepest potential, and the mind resists it not because it's impossible, but because it's transformative, which means your procrastination is the map. Follow it, and you'll find the place where you become whole. Ignore it, and you'll spend your life watching a stronger version of yourself haunt you from the sidelines. Before we descend into the last layer, I want you to do something simple, but telling. Write in the comments the one sentence from this video that hit you the hardest. Not for engagement, not for the algorithm, but because the sentence you choose reveals the part of you that's waking up. Now, what I'm about to tell you is the darkest truth about procrastination, the one people sense but never articulate. Procrastination isn't the thief of time, it's the thief of identity. Time isn't what you lose. Time is just the evidence. What you actually lose is your sense of self, your coherence, your ability to trust your own hands with your own future. Every time you delay something you know you must do, your mind absorbs the message: I don't command myself. I don't obey myself. My intentions mean nothing. And that is catastrophic, because human beings do not function on motivation or inspiration. We function on self-respect, and procrastination is the slow erosion of that self-respect until you become a stranger to yourself. That's why the guilt is so heavy. That's why the shame is so sharp. You're not disappointed in your productivity. You're disappointed in your identity. You feel the fracture, the incoherence, the self-abandonment. And here's the part that reaches into the center of your chest and twists. Eventually, you don't fear the task anymore. You fear the person you've become. The person who can no longer rely on their own word. The person whose promises mean nothing, even to themselves. This is the psychological death that procrastination causes, the collapse of internal authority. That's why when you finally force yourself to start, you feel a strange rush of electricity. It's not joy. It's not relief. It's recognition. Your mind recognizing, yes, this is who I was supposed to be. Action is not effort. Action is self-reclamation. Now I'm going to tell you what nobody dares to confess. If you strip away all excuses, all logic, all stories, you'll find one terrifying truth. Procrastination is the refusal to accept your own power, because power is frightening. Power brings responsibility. Power demands sacrifice. Power demands transformation. And transformation is a small death. Most people would rather suffer slowly than transform suddenly. They'd rather die by erosion than be reborn by fire. So they procrastinate, not because the task is difficult, but because the person they would become on the other side of the task is too enormous for their current identity to accept. That's why the resistance feels existential, because it is. You're not fighting the task. You're fighting the version of you that terrifies your current self. The higher self is a threat, a disruption, a revolution, and revolutions always meet resistance. Here's the final paradox, the one that will linger long after the video ends. The life you want is on the other side of the thing you fear. But the fear is not of the task. The fear is of the transformation, the upgrading of your identity, the shedding of who you are now. Your mind is not afraid of doing the work. It's afraid of what doing the work will turn you into. Because the moment you take control of your life, every excuse dies, every illusion dies, every comfortable lie dies. You can no longer blame the world, circumstances, childhood, luck, timing, mood, motivation, or fate. You must face the truth. You were always capable. You just weren't ready to pay the price of becoming who you were meant to be. That's the real fear, not difficulty, not effort, not work. Freedom. Because freedom requires accountability, and accountability requires awakening. So here is the final, darkest revelation. Procrastination is the door between your present self and your awakened self, and that door will not open gently. You will either confront it consciously or be destroyed by it slowly. There is no third option. The task you're avoiding is not a task. It is the threshold, the rite of passage, the confrontation, the mirror, the place where the self you pretend to be meets the self you fear you could become, and only one of them survives. Let me say it plainly. Silence isn't emptiness, it's strategy. Delay isn't rest, it's decay. And procrastination isn't avoidance, it's self-erasure. Until the day you decide you're done watching your life from behind glass. So now I want you to do something that most people will never have the courage to do. Ask yourself a question so sharp it cuts through every excuse you've ever made. If you died exactly as you are today, would you be proud of the life you lived or haunted by the life you postponed? Don't answer quickly. Don't look away. Don't soften it with comforting lies. Sit with it. Let it crawl under your skin. Let it unsettle you. Let it show you the invisible chains you've been dragging behind you for years. Because the real tragedy of procrastination isn't what you haven't done. It's who you haven't become. You already know this. Your body knows it. Your abandoned dreams know it. You can feel the ghost of your potential following you everywhere. A silent witness to every moment you chose comfort over becoming. But the fact that you're here, still listening, means something. It means you're not like the others. It means you're one of the few still capable of awakening. If this video shook something in you, if it exposed something you've been hiding from yourself, then you already know what I'm about to say next. Subscribe. Not for me. For you. For the part of you that's starving for brutal honesty. for coherence, for the kind of truth that tears through the fog you've been living in. This channel isn't for everyone. It's for the ones who feel the pull, the ones who refuse to live asleep. Hit the button. Don't think. Don't negotiate with your own fear. Just act. I'll leave you with the last truth, the one that disturbs the mind long after the screen goes dark. Procrastination doesn't hide failure. It manufactures it. And the moment you see that clearly, you have a choice. Keep postponing your life until it forgets you, or step into the fire and finally become the one who commands it. Remember this: the future isn't waiting for you. It's created by the version of you who shows up today. Stay awake, stay ruthless with your potential, and above all, act.